Breaking news right now, a wanted fugitive who's been on the run for weeks is now back behind bars. Cavante Kane was arrested early this morning. The 19-year-old was wanted in a shooting that injured an innocent bystander earlier this year. Kane has been arrested more than 70 times, and his name may sound familiar to you because he was also one of the teens who escaped the Woodland Hills Youth Development Center 2 years ago. He was on the run for a month before he was captured. Back in May of this year, he was charged with attempted murder after a shooting that seriously injured a man in Nashville, but those charges were later dropped.
Also, Amy, breaking news this morning, 2 teens in the hospital after a South Nashville shootout.
Let's check in with Sophie Nielsen-Colding. She's live at Vanderbilt Medical Center this morning. And Sophie, this started as an argument. Is that what I heard you say earlier?
That's what police told us. That argument starting just before midnight last night, and it led to the shooting that put these 2 teens in the hospital at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. That argument started on First Avenue South in South Nashville. One of the teens went to get his gun and started shooting. The other one went to grab his gun and also started shooting. By the way, these teens are just 17 and 19 years old. One of the teens was grazed in the leg. The other one was hit in the back. And I asked police what they were fighting about, and police said that that's what they were trying to figure out as well. This area is no stranger to crime. If you come back out to us here live, you'll see that we just told you on Monday about another shooting that happened just a couple of blocks away, in which a 14-year-old girl was one of the 2 victims. Now, the victims in this case are going to be okay, but police are on the lookout for 2 suspects in that case. This is just on the other side of this morning's shooting across the street, across the apartment complex of the Tony Sudicum Apartments. Live in Nashville, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
All right, Sophie, thank you for the update on that. The Krispy Kreme along West End is going to be shut down today because of a fire. Okay, it wasn't a serious fire, but still, they're closed today. And that's Krispy Kreme. Happened earlier this morning around 4 o'clock. Firefighters say a conveyor belt inside the well-known Elliston Place Krispy Kreme caught on fire. No flames were present, but firefighters did have to clear the building for all of the smoke. Hopefully we'll be back open tomorrow. Authorities say the alleged gunman who was shot by a Metro police officer yesterday morning, remember that was our breaking news all morning long? Metro police officer Jason Sweeney encountered Kevin Lillard, we've got his name now, yesterday morning near the fire station in Madison while responding to a shots fired call. The 42-year-old reportedly ran to an alcove and pointed a gun at Officer Sweeney, who is actually a field training commander, so he teaches officers how to fire and when. Police say the officer fired his gun once in self-defense. Lillard reportedly now shot in the stomach in stable condition. He will be arrested once he's finished at the hospital. Sweeney is on routine administrative leave pending the investigation. Amy?
Today, Steve, the Hendersonville father accused of shooting and killing his daughter is expected in court. A judge will decide if Timothy Batts will go back to jail. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy joins us live from the Sumner County Courthouse this morning. So what's expected in court today, Dan?
Amy, we should find out whether Timothy Batts is going to go back to jail. This is a bond revocation hearing. The judge can decide to take away his bond because, according to the district attorney, he violated his bond when he tested positive for cocaine. It was a random drug test, which was part of what the judge said. If we're going to give you this $500,000 bond, you have to pass some random drug tests. A little background, Timothy Batts is the father accused of shooting and killing his 11-year-old daughter, Tamia, last month after she got home from school. She was just off the bus, had just finished her first day of 6th grade. Batts gave authorities several different stories. Originally, his bond was set at $1 million, then $500,000. 3 days later, after bonding out of jail, he failed that drug test. His attorney said, well, give us another chance. We want to do an independent drug test on that same exact sample. So this morning in court, a judge will see the results of that independent test from the defense attorneys, and we'll find out if his bond is indeed revocated. We'll be here all day long, and we'll have updates on social media and newschannel5.com. Reporting live this morning in Sumner County, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
All right, Dan, thank you for the update there in Sumner County. A father on a well-known reality TV show is in jail. There he is. He's facing child rape charges. Toby Willis arriving at the Cheatham County Jail yesterday. TBI agents arrested the 46-year-old in Greenville, Kentucky, Friday. He's accused of having a sexual encounter about 12 years ago with an underage girl. He's best known for his TLC show, The Willis Family. He's currently being held without bond. 3 high school students arrested accused of burglary this morning. Metro Police tell us the victims arrived at their Frisco Avenue home yesterday morning. They found those teenagers inside the house. They actually detained a 16-year-old girl and called the police. Officers found 2 17-year-old boys in a getaway car not far away. They recovered 3 big screen TVs. All 3 Hillwood High School students are now facing charges.
Embattled Jeremy Durham is no longer a state representative.
Lawmakers booted him out yesterday, making him the first member expelled from the legislature in 36 years. Durham was not present when the actual vote took place. The vote 70-2. He is accused of sexually harassing almost 24 women, but he denies those allegations. Since Durham was expelled, he's no longer eligible for a state pension for the rest of his life. You know, the original reason they called a special session to begin with was for lawmakers to talk about how to not lose millions of dollars in federal funding. They will be talking about that potential loss this morning. Stay with News Channel 5 for all of the latest updates. We'll have them on air, online at newschannel5.com, and of course, our News Channel 5 app.